Howdy everybody, Big Fat Plus here, and welcome back to another episode of White Day, a Labyrinth named School. This actually won't be a progressive episode too much, as it is going to be finally getting a chance to read what those letters we got that we couldn't have a time to read because I was too busy dealing with Kefka's screaming. We got an autumn newsletter, Yondo Newsletter Autumn Edition. Is autumn the season of suicide? Oh good lord, I don't even like how this is going. According to statistics, young and old women commit suicide more often than any others, and they mainly occur in the spring and autumn seasons. Looking at this information suggests that suicide is more common with sensitive people. There is a commonly discussed idea that suicide is a way of escaping, but it's a criminal act of religion. Suicide is a choice given to people by God, which some see as a punishment. A person facing suicide stands on a forked road. When the person feels that life is meaningless, they take the path to death. They only choose to live when they are enjoying life. Take any other importance. We also got 3 ghost stories. Number 5, The Strange Tree. Back in grade 2, Hee-Jin got suspended for getting into a fight. She was so upset about it that she ran away from home. But in grade 3, during the spring semester, she returned back into school carrying a flower pot. I can't help but noticing how she takes so much care for the flower pot. It's strange. But other than that, seems kind of like a normal kid, like most of the other students. One day a child accidentally dropped a solvent mixture into the plant pot during a chemistry experiment. Her flower withered. She began suffering from hysteria and seemed to be thinner than before. The rest of the class quietened down after that. A horrendous stench had filled the air in the classroom. There was no visible source of the smell except for the flower pot. When the teachers tried to throw the plant out, Hee-Jin went into a demented rage, screaming, "Kill all who touched the pot!" No one wanted to cause an incident, so he left her with the plant pot. Later, the school janitor, Yi Bong-gu, was on his rounds when he was drawn into the science classroom. There he found the plant pot girl with her back to him. When he called after her, she began to turn. The girl locked her eyes onto him. She was wearing a bloodied shirt and holding her plant pot in one hand. In the other hand, she held a dead dog, its blood emptying into the pot. The janitor turned around, just as the girl dropped the dog to the ground. Hee-Jin was found dead in the girl's bathroom the following week. Lovely. Ghost Stories number 1. The Dormitory Captain's Spirit. Wai-Hai was a girls' school tucked away at the bottom of a very remote mountain in the countryside. There were very few few houses nearby, so not many people could go to the new school. The dorm C superintendent was known as the Tiger. Was well known for her strictness and refined bearing, a trait she inherited from her rich, grandiose family. Had to emphasize grandiose there. This attitude made her very unpopular with the girls of her dorm, who were forever complaining about their treatment. Long after the start of the school's second term, a second-year student fell from the 3rd floor window and broke her neck. She'd been playing truant after an exam, trying to avoid the superintendent. Very soon, there were rumors going around that the Tiger had driven her to suicide, or even that she had killed the girl. She was visibly shocked by the rumors and became much more subdued. The girls of her dorm were very pleased that they had got back at the superintendent. Not a way to do that there, I would guess. The following evening, another girl from the 3rd year was punished by have her ponytail cut after being found walking outside out of curfew. The girl was outraged at the loss of her beautiful blonde ponytail, and stormed out of the room in a rage. The following morning, she too was found dead. Years later, after the superintendent had died, her ghost began to appear in C dorm corridors, prompting the teachers of the school to shut the dorm. They say that her ghost still walks the corridors even today. His ghost, her ghost, so was a hermaphrodite. Ghost Stories number 12, The Missing Boulders. It was such a hot summer's day that I could hardly breathe. The cicadas were crying so loudly. The bridge connecting the new building and the main building was supposed to be finished over the summer holidays. The builders said they didn't want to do it, but they were getting paid quite a bit, so they kept working. The chief told the builders they could have a nap after lunch because it was such a hot day. During the builders' nap, some of the supporting poles collapsed, and the chief was furious. He tried to wake the builders, but they couldn't have cared less, so he started yelling at them. He eventually gave up, so the chief walked up to the poles himself, still yelling as he approached them. The builders were fully awake now, but still pretended to be asleep. They could hear the yelling of the chief, but suddenly it stopped. It was complete silence. The builders were becoming scared. They slowly sat up and saw a dinner lady had been struck by a falling pole. She was headless. Oh my. That's bad working conditions right there. And a naturally large amount of blood from her neck spilt across the floor. The builders walked up to the body and threw it in the cement mixer. What the hell?! Okay, that's definitely an act of criminal mischief right there. With that, the builders were working a lot better and the chief was happy. The body was disposed of and everything seemed back to normal. One thing bugged them. They didn't find the head of the body. After the incident, the builders were all diced into bits by a wire net in the elevator accident, and the chief went mad and stabbed himself repeatedly in the stomach. He kept screaming, "I found it!" when the rumors started to spread about the incident. As soon as the bridge was finished, the head of a dinner lady was found in the flower bed under the new bridge. Oh my, my. Shut up. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of story time. Got to read stuff finally that we were wanting to read but couldn't because we were too busy dealing with Kafka's Laugh. I won't save this game because we did no progress, but I figured you want to know about those stories. And of course, we all know what we got to do with this. I'm going to throw it in someone's head, that's what I'm going to do. But, unfortunately, that's all the time I have for this episode of the BygMan Plays White Day, a Labyrinth named School. Till then, it's Big Fatty Plus, sayonara. And, you know, if you go to a school and you hear as many rumors about ghosts as you do about the ability of the curriculum staff, yeah, it might be a good idea to switch schools. Can I suggest a military academy?